and the judge said they'd expunge my record, and that's how I became a special ed teacher.
The truth can only emerge through the arts, dance, poetry. We can sit here and talk all day, but there's something that music and poetry does. It touches our hearts. And we pay attention to the ancestors that are always here with us, guiding us, giving us messages, but we need to listen.
Yeah, I flipped mine. Yeah, I did.
Yours is.
Oh, yes. Okay, I flipped mine. Sorry.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, let me see that sign right there. Oh yeah. Nice.
That was the front page of the Nation magazine about 6 years ago.
Is that right?
So I took it, and a friend of mine does all the union printing. So I said, I want a poster for a picket line. She did me up.
Right on.
It's my wife right up there. Kind of short with a backpack.
Uh-huh.
She's part of the Raging Grannies. Do you know about the Raging Grannies?
What?
Oh, they're great. They're great.
The Raging Grannies, huh?
Yeah, they usually perform most of the demonstrations and stuff.
That's a great name, though.
Yeah, look them up, man. They're on that YouTube and stuff.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, they take common songs and then they do parody lyrics to the music, right?
Right on. Cool.
And they got this great one about condoms and contraception.
Oh, yeah. Is that one of their big hits?
Yeah. Well, there used to be a show called Addams Family.
Uh-huh. I know about it.
Yeah, you know about it?
Yep.
Well, you know the theme song, right?
Yeah.
So they took that theme song
Yeah.
and they put it to contraception song, all about condoms. And then when they're in the song, they throw the condoms out to the audience. Yeah, I'm at the FBI for a long time. I was about 6 inches thick.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
How'd you get a hold of that? Did you FOIA it or what?
No, I went to prison for a while, so my attorney's got a hold of it.
Wow. What'd you go to prison for, if you don't mind me asking?
Interstate transportation explosives. The feds frown on it, you know.
Interstate transportation explosives.
Yeah.
So you were transporting explosives between states?
Yeah.
Why? Are you making money or what?
Well, no, I was part of a revolutionary group in San Francisco Bay for a while. So anyway, we had a snitch in the group, so I got nailed.
That's crazy.
But then I had these great lawyers in Portland, and they represented Dennis Banks and the American Indian movement at the same time. And so a friend of mine here in Spokane hooked him up with it. Actually, he was the founder of...
How you doing,
Oh,
Steven?
hey!
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, oh, you got to see this. Look at it. Well,
Oh, my.
the John Brown. Yeah, you know who John Brown was? No. He in the 1850s. He was a white guy with a bunch of other white guys, and they used to raid the slave plantations and free slaves, and then they would come over,
Or anybody
become part of their
decided
army.
that was an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Tight.
He's badass.
I would rep that.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite Stevens County camel.
Yeah, I ordered one of those. I ordered one of those shoes.
Yes!
Yeah, you look it up.
gonna
John
match.
Brown Hunting Club.
Okay.
We're gonna match.
What's your name?
Axel.
Axel. All right.
Steve?
Steven. Yeah, Steven Queener.
Stephen Queener. Nice to meet you.
What's your situation, Axel? What are you out for?
Oh, here for the
For
rally.
everything? Are you
Yeah.
just documenting and getting some perspectives? Is that what your camera situation's about?
I'm giving him some history.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
the guy to talk
the
to.
upshot was I was a first offender young, and I had these great National Lawyers Guild attorneys, and I got lucky. and I only did 6 months with 5 years probation. And then when I finished my degree after I got out of prison, then the lawyers went into court, and the judge said they'd expunge my record, and that's how I became a special ed teacher.
We don't know where to go. We're dizzy. So here we are trying to figure it out, and this is the struggle. But here's the thing. We're trying to figure it out while we ourselves are collapsing. Literally, we are hunched over with sadness, with hurt and grief. This energy that we have here is beautiful, yes. It's important to hold on to hope. It's important to scream loud, right? That's part of it. What's happening, and we're not talking about it, is that we're holding on to so much woundedness and hurt and grief and loss. And instead of feeling it, because we're afraid that it might consume us, we push it down. We avoid it until it becomes too loud to ignore it. And it bursts down to rage, and it begs us and it tells us something has to change. I can't hold on any longer. I need to feel so that I can come back into who I really am. Change is made by moving. And our very real responses of sadness and loss and grief need to be felt so they can move in, through, and out. The sadness and the grief and the loss, they're real, y'all. And it comes from seeing our families and our communities being separated and violently deported. We see the violence and deportations everywhere in our nation. But there's also something happening that we're not tending to, that we're not talking about, and that's emotional deportation. I consider myself to be a listener and an observer of things and of people and relationships. And what I've been listening to and observing is the divide and the emotional deportations that are happening within our own families, our homes, ourselves. It's happening with our children, our spouses, our neighbors, and our friends. And we're becoming divided because we're allowing that anger and that rage to inform our decisions in reckless and reactive ways. We're not walking and living this time place of collapse from a place of self-awareness, of carefulness and responsiveness, of listening to what needs to happen so that we can feel those feelings before it becomes too late and we're rageful. And then we're no better. We're in the same position as the divisiveness and the separateness we see at the administration level. So we're not asking ourselves, and this is important, what is it that I'm really feeling that my anger is protecting? And how is it affecting my relationships that I lean on for support, for rest and for holding, the way that I had to hold my daughters last night and this morning, so that I can come back here with all of you to do this work in a way that is grounded in love, and the way that I'm centered and I know exactly where I'm going. I'm not confused, looking for the answers outside of me. With my conviction, I know where I'm going, and each of us has that capacity. We need to ask ourselves that question that we're often afraid of, but we can no longer let fear keep us from knowing who we truly are, underneath the rage, and where we are going in our lives and in this work. We're at a critical juncture to come into ourselves so that we can come into relationship with one another in a good way, so that we can move beyond the struggle and clearly see the path that we need to take to create safety and protection and thriving communities for all of us. Because our humanity, including our planet, is in peril. There's a Mayan saying that means, it's called In Lakesh, means tú eres mi otro yo. You are my other self. What I do to myself, how I am with myself, is what I do to you, and how I am with you. And how you are with yourself and what you do to yourself is how you are with me and what you do to me. So our liberation is bound up together. We live in a country that prioritizes individualism, and we're taught to protect our individual rights above all else. But the truth is, if we continue to live and think only individually, we'll always put collective well-being second. And we simply can't afford to do that anymore. So I'm going to ask you to do something that you probably have never been asked to do before, or very rarely. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to invite you to do something with me. I can sit here and talk to you all day about what we need to do, how you need to feel, but it's all here. You need to feel it. We need to feel it. We need to feel it. So I'm going to invite you in a small practice that'll help center and ground this work in our hearts and in our bodies. So when it's time to march and it's time to figure out where are we going, we are clearer. We have love. We're compassionate with each other. Too many times I've been in a march and I go and I listen and I'm being talked at. And I see everybody around me, and guess what? Nobody says hi. Nobody looks in my eyes. Nobody says, hi, how are you? This is hard. And then we march with our friends, the people that we feel comfortable with, but we don't make any connections with anybody else. And then we go home, and the movement gets stuck. And it's stagnant because it's too big for us, because we feel alone. The connections are what's going to help us move the emotion so that we can keep the momentum going and make real change. So here we go. Are you ready? Yes! Okay, let's take this risk together. Everybody's in it with me. Everybody's in it with you. Listen to the silence. Look around you. Look at the sun. Look at the trees. Maybe you can hear the water. Now, take a moment, and if you feel like you can do this, you can close your eyes or gaze to the ground where you're standing. Put your left hand to your heart. And look down. This is going to be a time to be with you and to listen, truly listen to your heart. Notice how it's beating. Fast, slow, paced. Notice your feet on the ground. This is our Madre Tierra, Tonantzin. She's our home. She gives us food, sustenance. She gives us home. Feel her beneath your feet. Take a few deep breaths. Now here is the part that is different from other rallies you've been in. When you open your eyes, when you look up with your hands still on your heart, look to the person next to you. And maybe smile, and maybe nod. Look to your right. Maybe smile, maybe nod. We're in this. Hi. I see you. I see you, neighbor. We're in this together. So we march today. We feel the collective strength and the hope by that connection. That, what you felt right there, that's hope. Hope in this movement, hope for our people, hope for our future, hope for 7 generations forward. Okay? We march for those who cannot march with us. We hold them in our hearts. For those who cannot come out here because they fear their safety, we do it for them. And we do it for each other. So let's go and let's do this. Hold it there.
Give it up for Abigail. Thank you so much for joining us. And now, I'm very proud to introduce La Mera Mera, who has been behind so much of this work, a dedicated activist, mother, and one of the fiercest voices for immigrants and work justice in our community. Give it up for our Executive Director of Latinos in Spokane. Please welcome Jennifer Mesa.
Hola, Spokane. My hermanas, Abigail, Donald, for my hermano, Jorge. I'm here with you all. I feel grounded, I feel centered, I feel a lot of emotions. And I might cry, so bear with me. Because I'm Latina, and I have a lot of emotions. And we're living in an emotional time. There's a lot of new faces here, so I thought I'd introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Mesa, and I'm an immigrant from Medellin, Colombia. And I'm the proud daughter of Beatriz Granada and John Jairo Mesa. Show up and taught me strong work ethic and have a deep love and appreciation for this country. My family fled violence in Medellin, Colombia, and we sought safety in the U.S. I was the youngest in my family, and I experienced being undocumented in this country. And ultimately, I had to wait 12 years in Mexico City to obtain my visa and be reunited with my family. I know and know the experience of family separation that is going on right now, and it is heartbreaking. It took me 30 years to obtain my citizenship and thousands of dollars of my family's hard-earned work money to pay attorneys to be a citizen of this country. Our immigration separated my family and hindered our economic outcomes. But I'm here. I'm here as a mother. I'm the proud mother of Sebastián Fuentevilla Mesa and Bianca Leslie. Our community. worker. We work hard every day, and we are the ones who run the country. All of us here who wake up and work for this community. Whether you're volunteering, whether you work in service and construction, we're all workers and we're all part of this community. I've been a maid, a housekeeper, a nanny to multiple families. I sold roses on the street with my mom. I worked construction. I worked at call centers where I got kicked out of. That was a fun job. I've also had several businesses and continue to have side hustles because I'm an immigrant. I am my father's American dream. I am also a first-generation college student and the first in my family to own a home. I did all of this in the span of a decade as I got here to the U.S. and I hustled. And as a single mother, in a decade that I received my visa, I was able to obtain all of that. And y'all, I'm not the only one. There's so many immigrants with my same stories that have had these outcomes, that are hard workers. A better life and safety. And I learned this all from my mama. My mama's a hardworking immigrant. She's a delivery driver for DoorDash who has to invest her time, her cars, expose herself to environmental impacts, all the types of weather, to bring food to people. She does all of this without benefits, without retirement, without a salary, and she has to invest every single day. She's a worker like you. Where are the DoorDash? Where's the Uber people? Shout out to them who are working so hard with very little benefits. I'm also proud to be the executive director for Latinos in Spokane. Every day, I get to serve the bravest people I know. The staff and the LES, the LES staff and the workers and families that have to deal with the daily threat of being targeted by ICE, Border Patrol, and so many other agencies that are militarizing our community right now. They are so brave. They are the brave ones who have to get up to work every day before the sun comes out, in the field, in construction, to build our homes, build our roofs, process our foods, upkeep our homes, keep our children and elders safe, all while having to deal with the looming threat of being targeted, detained, or worse, separated from your family. Spokane, we are living in a dangerous time.
Yeah, we are.
Our communities are being tested. We are all being tested right now. The news, the media, the daily threats, they're all tested. They're testing the limits of the federal government and testing our limits to see how far we're going to normalize this. Will we permit this?
Hell no!
Are we going to become desensitized to what we're seeing every day?
Hell no!
Are we going to become desensitized to having our neighbors disappear?
Hell no!
I'm glad you're saying this. When our children ask us, what did you do? What did you do then? What will you say? I hope we can all say 1, 2, 5, or 10 years from now. Yes, child. I stood up for my community. I stood up for my neighbor, and I was called to be brave, just like they are every day. We're brave enough to speak up, show up, shut down, vote out, and defund when we have to, because we are a community and we are workers. Since taking office, it's been 100 days, and Trump declared a national emergency on immigration. And just a few days after inauguration, he passed the first immigration legislation in 20 years that has ever passed this country. And it was the Laken-Riley Act. This new law strips many immigrants of our fundamental rights to due process, targeting people without a conviction, and even those, it targets people who have been here for generations. That's right, he voted for him, and what are we gonna do? Vote him out. The Laken-Riley Act extends threats to due process
And we can't have that risk. It also violates 5th and 14th Amendment rights and imposes mandatory detentions without conviction. Gracias, amigo. An opportunity for fair hearing on issues that should matter in any custody determination. We deserve due process.
Yeah!
Fundamental right. And this is the time. Our due process will end. Because first it'll be us, but then they're gonna go after you. This law is a waste of resources, y'all, and it's a distraction from providing real, lasting immigration policy solutions, real safety. It doesn't promote public safety. It's disappearing our people. But this is starting as a test, and now we're seeing how far this test is gonna weaken our democracy and our rights. When immigrants' rights are under risk, everyone's rights are under risk. This is not only my problem, it is your problem as well. I'm tired of these executive orders. Executive orders aren't law.
Yeah!
Congress enacts law. But you know what? We gotta remind Congress who voted for them and who put them in office and who can take them out of office. These executive orders are a direct attack to workers. They are a direct attack to immigrants. Immigrants aren't taking your jobs. The fascist billionaires are taking your jobs.
Yeah!
And you know what they're doing? They're preparing AI to replace you. They're preparing to increase more H-2A guest workers that are going to come here and displace workers. We're seeing in Washington State, H-2A has grown by 200% in our state. We can't allow that. We cannot allow that. First, it's farm workers, next it can be construction workers. These executive orders are being used to expedite removals, halting the process of refugees, asylum seekers, birthright citizenship, retention of our sensitive locations,
We need to, like,
schools,
tag-
churches,
oh.
I
hospitals.
know, right?
Right.
What you got for
My
me?
backpack,
Yep.
sorry.
What you got for me?
So right, quite concerned about an executive order that he signed earlier this week.
This
That
administration
it looks
has
to us like
rapidly
it's
laid the groundwork
laying the groundwork
to expand mass
to a martial
deportation
law.
through so
so
many
we'd like
branches
people
of
to pay
government
attention to that,
in
and
just
we'd like
100
you
days.
to contact
We
these
now have
folks
the IRS,
to
Border
bring their
Patrol,
attention to. Could be we're
U.S.
overacting,
Marshals,
but given his pattern
FDA,
of
the
increased
DEA, and now we even have the post office,
escalation
the
of
USPS is going to be tracking immigrants.
Okay,
I
yeah, for
said,
sure.
hell
And these are our
no.
representatives, or
that's
Are we going to normalize
our
this?
representative. These are our two senators. These two are Democrats. He's
Okay.
a Republican.
Okay.
I thought was
by attacking
going
workers
to
and
be a
immigrants.
decent Republican,
Because we
but he's
know,
ended up being a
and everybody here knows, that immigrants
maybe
pay
you have to be that way.
taxes.
So anyway.
Yeah!
And immigrants are working those
Awesome.
jobs
Hey,
that
thank
nobody
you.
else
Yeah,
wants
you
to
bet.
work. That immigrants are processing our food and we eat thanks to an immigrant worker.
Yeah!
So why are they doing this? Because rich bosses need more money. It's greed, y'all. They want to reduce our work, our benefits, and expand these programs that are going to put us out of work. Yes, y'all. I want you to think of how brave you have to be. Spokane, I want you to be as brave as a farm worker. Living to our lands and processing our foods for decades, earning minimum wage, working 7 days a week, 12 hours per day. They've been here serving us. And right now, Washington State is allowing more H-2A guest workers to displace them. We can't have that. And why do they do this? Because it's easier for them to control working men who are completely reliant on their bosses for living. They're in control of their passports. They can't ask for time off for benefits, and they're disposable because they can be deported at any moment. This is modern day slavery. Thank you for saying that back there. They don't want working mothers. They don't want families. They don't want people that have to request PTO to take their kid to the doctor, to school. It's easier, right? And why does this happen? Because rich bosses need more money. We are being tested. All the work that we put forward these past few years is being tested. It's sad and pitiful to see so many of these universities and institutions pulling out their diversity programs and equity statements. Y'all look stupid. We see your performance. And you're bending to money? They're gonna take your money anyways. You might as well fight back. These acts were never about equity. They don't demonstrate when they don't demonstrate. They're demonstrating their performance, y'all. And this goes to all agencies as well, with the federal government, for cities, for our county. They're gonna take your money away. So you might as well stand up and be brave like a farm worker. Stand up and be brave like a construction worker. Locally here in Spokane, we face these unique challenges because we are 100 miles within the border. And I've been saying this for so long. We have Border Patrol, we have ICE, and now we have a plethora of other agencies that are enforcing mass deportation. I serve the bravest people, y'all, but I've seen more deportations take place in the last 100 days than what I have in the last 4 years. Every day I get a call from somebody that has been picked up from our community. They disappear. They pick up workers at 5 a.m. when they're on their way to work, and they disappear. We cannot have that. And the people who are being detained, they're not criminals. The administration is doing this fear-mongering, placing us as horrible people, but all we're doing is serving you all, working, and providing to this local economy. They're essential workers. I want to ask everybody here, what happened to the love to essential workers? What happened to that love? What happened to the love of the people that got us through the pandemic? The people who got up to work, who processed our food, who were delivering our mail, who were doing so much so that everyone could stay quarantined. What happened to that love? We have to continue showing love and solidarity. Are we gonna give up that easy? No! Are you really willing to sacrifice your equity work for some money? No! I'll tell you what, losing funds is not the biggest risk. They're already gonna take your money, and money is not gonna work. Our love, our movement, our collective action, that's what's gonna push us forward, not money. I'm not falling for that trick. In order to get through this, we gotta do this together. And I want us to think also about how we group each other. It's time to heal, y'all. I want Spokane to be a safe place for everybody who's contributing to it. And I want everyone here to think and dream big. I know this is overwhelming, but be brave like undocumented workers. Embrace that bravery. And think big. You know what? Because the right is thinking big. They got big visions. And they're not stopping because they got big visions. We need to be as big thinkers, bigger visionaries, and show our love to each other so that we can win. We need unity. We can no longer afford to accept classifications that are put on us. The attitude of, I'm an immigrant, but not like those undocumented immigrants. I have status, but you don't have status. Let's put those statuses away because they're not serving us. They're putting us into a divide. No more othering. Yeah! You want to know why? Because we're all at risk. At any moment, your status can be stripped away. At any moment, my refugee or residency or citizenship status can be stripped away, and then we're all undocumented. So we need to stand now for unity. We need to think big, and we need to demand more. We call for amnesty now. Amnesty for the workers. Amnesty for the essential workers that got us through the pandemic. All of them deserve amnesty now. We're not settling for crumbs. We're going big. And we have some big demands. We want to, we're marching today because we demand a full stop of Washington State residents being transported to Kootenai Detention Center. We demand that all federal agencies of judicial warrants. They're giving these shitty administrative warrants and everybody's falling for them. They're breaking the law. We want judicial warrants. We demand transparency from the blatant sector of Washington to see data on all these arrests. Stop the deportations now.
Yeah!
We also call on the Spokane County Superior Court to fully investigate the case 24-103203, State of Washington versus Jason Ruiz Rodriguez and Cesar Ruiz Rodriguez. The county court, the sheriff violated Keep Washington Working by sharing their immigration information and classifying them as Venezuelan gang members when they're not even Venezuelan. All because they had tattoos. That is racial discrimination. That is a violation of Keep Washington Working, and we're not going to stand for it until the Attorney General sues them.
Yeah!
We demand the release of Leto Juarez, farm worker activist and union organizer. We demand the release of everybody that's been detained. Free them all. And we continue investigations of discrimination hiring practices of all the local workers that are being displaced by H-2A. These are our demands. We're going big, and you should go big with us because we're not settling for crumbs. Amnesty, stop the deportations, and we do this together. Who's ready to march? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's Spokane?
Our Spokane!
Stop the deportations!
Stop the deportation!
Let's march, y'all!
All right, we're almost ready. You guys ready for that march?
Yeah!
Hey, who's hyped? I'm hyped. That was electrifying speech. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, we're almost ready. I'm about to set the ground rules for the march, but we have another speaker here scheduled for, and we're about to start. I know. But as we get ready over here, our next speaker is the president of Spokane Regional Labor Council. He's also vice president of Washington State Labor Council and a longtime champion for union workers throughout the state. Please join me in welcoming Jim Deacons.
When the Spokane Regional Labor Council got the call, do we want to join up with Latinos and Spokane? We said, hell yes. Hell yes. Immigrant issues are labor issues.
That's right!
When they're pulling people out of their homes without due process, sending them across state lines without due process, sending them to another country, hell no, we won't stand for it. In labor, an injury to one is an injury to all. As they reach out to our federal workers and strip them of their rights to be represented, we won't stand for it. An injury to one is an injury to all. Hell no. As they are taking away Medicaid and stripping our local hospitals and healthcare systems of their ability to be funded and provide our communities with the medical needs that they have, we say, hell no. An injury to one is an injury to all. As they reach out and try to take away our affordable system of moving mail across the United States and attack our postal workers, we say, hell no. An injury to one is an injury to all. Please join me as we march for labor, as we march for immigrants, as this week we said goodbye to 97 workers that lost their lives in 2024. 97 workers. It's statistically proven that if you are black or brown, you're likely to lose your life or work a dangerous job at twice the rate of somebody with lighter skin. What do we say to that? Hell no! An injury to one is an injury to all. Spokane is not going to stand for it. Let's march, let's show them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.